Mitsubishi has gone to town with this 5th generation L200 pickup, completely redesigning the engine, the suspension, the steering and the transmission, and that's just the start. It's more aerodynamic, better equipped, nicer to sit in and much more efficient. Plus it's great off-road, and if you tow, this vehicle will lug more about than any other rival can. You can see why buyers like it.
This Series 5 L200 model gets a new engine beneath the bonnet, a much more efficient 2.4-litre DID diesel unit offered in either 151 brake horsepower or 178 brake horsepower guises. Choose the pokier version and you can get it mated to the 5-speed automatic gearbox we're trying here. This common rail power plant develops more torque than before, up to 430 newton meters, and that's facilitated a big improvement in braked towing capacity, up to 3,100 kilograms. It's reasonably frugal too. This 178 brake horsepower variant manages 42.8 miles per gallon on the combined cycle and 173 grams per kilometre of CO2. Handling isn't up to SUV standards, but the solid chassis and the rear leaf springs that you have to have in any pickup make that impossible. However, Mitsubishi has done what it can with vehicle dynamics, and the result is a quieter, more responsive pickup that's better to drive than any other vehicle we've so far tried in this segment. Off-road, most models get the brand's clever Super Select four-wheel drive setup, the only one in this class that allows progress at speed in four-wheel drive on tarmac. Off-road, the L200 should be pretty unstoppable, thanks to differential lock options that should get you where you need to be. At first glance, this 5th generation L200 double cab pickup seems little more than an evolution of its successful predecessor. Look a little closer though and you'll discover that it's actually more than 80% new. Only 3 sections of floor and the main chassis rails having been carried over from before. The shape's more efficient too. This now the most aerodynamic double cab that you can buy. Time to take a seat inside. Now, at first glance, those familiar with previous generation models might not feel that very much has changed, but once you start to look around, key improvements begin to become apparent. Primarily, it's all a bit more car-like, with less of the feel that other pickups give you of being sat in a commercial vehicle. And to that end, the dash has more depth this time around. And though it's still trimmed in hard-wearing plastic, the material seems of higher quality and is enhanced on plusher models like this one by splashes of silver and piano black trim. The design of the fascia is more like an SUV than an LCV too, with a smart, high-mounted touchscreen on the 2 top models that includes navigation and an incorporated rear-view camera display. Let's take a seat in the back. The main change is that the total cabin zone of this vehicle is bigger this time around. The 1,745mm total length, making it 56mm longer than a rival Toyota Hilux and a massive 103mm longer than a Volkswagen Amarok. Now that isn't something you especially notice at the front, but it makes a big difference here at the rear when it comes to legroom, especially of course on longer trips. Here at the business end, you're faced with a cargo bed 475mm deep. That's 15mm deeper than the previous Series 4 model and 1,470mm in both length and width. In this area, you'd be able to take a payload of up to 1,045 kilos. Most rivals can better these figures, but that, according to Mitsubishi, doesn't tell the whole story. The brand points out that the stat that really matters to many operators is the one for combined carrying and towing capacity, an area in which this Series 5 L200 is indisputably a class leader. Combine the cargo area capacity with this model's prodigious braked towing capability of up to 3,100 kilograms, and you'll be able to lug up to 4,090 kilograms. That's 77 kilograms more than an Isuzu D-Max and around 230 kilograms more than a Toyota Hilux or a Volkswagen Amarok. In summary then, you can see why so many pickup buyers choose this one, whether their need is to transport quad bikes and surfboards or hardcore and shovels. As before, it's tough, good looking and offers a wide range of choice, but now it's that bit easier to live with too. All of which, more than ever, makes this Mitsubishi a vehicle that customers in this segment can't ignore.